Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European Indices Report, but I need to start with the S&P 500 once again, simply because it's in the best position to be leading to the upside. If we understand what the leader's doing, then we can understand how the other markets will be pulled up around it, because certainly in Europe, as you know, been weighed down by the banks and a few other companies as well, of course, and the index itself is looking a bit like a lame duck. So on the S&P 500 here, we've got moves into new highs now. So it really, we've got the weight of our main wave count here, which has always been to the upside, as you know, in terms of wave 3 and A and B and C for wave 4 and up for 1 and back for 2. And we've just really been trying to sort ourselves out through the Brexit situation, but it does appear that we could be on track now for a move higher. It's the perfect classic trading levels pattern that's occurred across the 2000 here, with the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then the A, the B and the C, the standard pattern that happens across most levels. There's only a few things that can really occur. So in this instance here, we've got wave 1 here, wave 2 here, up for wave 1 and 2, and then we can see that we're moving into new highs here. So new highs are coming in through to here, so we're certainly moving into the upside here. So just on the 2-hour chart to get a bit of a grip on this one here. We don't need to worry about this one here, but the main point here is that we can see that we're moving to the upside here in terms of wave 1 and wave 2 over here, then wave 1 and wave 2, and up for wave 3 and 4 and so on. So on the 15-minute chart here, the way this pans out, because the DAX will be much the same as well. So from wave 2 here, we were looking for we've got wave 2, we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then wave 1 and 2 here. And the DAX has got exactly the same pattern as well here. So we're looking at the top of the 3, the 4, and the 5 up through there. So in this case here, what's going to confirm another confirming point about this bull market is that we need to establish support on 2130, which is the top of group 1. Group 1, of course, is 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, above the minor trading level here. So this is all subgroup 1 here. And we know that if a tested support is found on subgroup 1, then it will separate itself in the order flow from being pulled from this number here, and traders will start to look at 5, the next level up through here. So we know that what confirms it is if we get support on top of this level here, then we know that we're going higher from that point. Getting support on here is going to be a little bit volatile because, first of all, this particular trend up here needs to end, and then it needs to rebalance itself, and then it needs to develop support here. The 38.2 retracement levels at 2120 roughly, so we should see the market. The market may spike down below this, and it may not, but we'd expect it to come sort of close to that in all of this volatility here. The fourth wave of 1 lesser degree, by the way, is this one down here. So it's possible for this one to be triggered here as well, but I doubt it. And I doubt it because we're in a series of wave 3s here. So wave 3 of minor degree, then minute degree, and then this one, and then this one, and this one. So we're in the strongest part of the trend now. We should see it move quite swiftly. So with that in mind, and looking at the DAX here, just on the daily charts, the same pattern that we're looking at here in terms of up for 1 here, the A, the B, and I'm looking at this as the C wave. I mean, there's different ways to count this, but the main point is we're looking at this as 1 and 2 now, and the same moving for the as the S&P 500. So just moving into the 4-hour chart here and picking that up. And the reason that I've made it the C wave is basically breaks. I'll just bring in this on 1000 here, and I'll just explain this because it's certainly not the way to certainly not the way to count Elliott structures by any means, but to me, in my little tiny mind, it makes sense to me. So, I'm not really keen on spikes, and don't particularly, their spikes are real, and I don't want to sort of, say not to worry about them in that sort of sense. But, when I'm looking at this particular count here, it just counts quite nicely as wave 1 here, the A wave here. The A and the B and the C as we had that one, and then down for 1 and back for 2 and down for 3. So they were thinking that the Brex wasn't going to be an exit, so everybody was betting to the upside here. And then of course they did leave the union, so it's back down track. So if you basically took off that whole block there that I've got there, that over that particular event, then really we've still got this nice 1, 2, 3 and wave 4 would have pulled back here somewhere as we were looking at it too, and then down for wave 5 here, and then up for 1 and back for 2. So for me, I know it's wrong, but I know it's right as well. So I'm not going to sort of argue about it, but it's just the way that I see things, and it makes sense to me. So, but what we want to try and confirm now, there's a few things that we do need to confirm in this market to make it sort of bullish, and also to lift the banks and the other guys off their lows as well, is that we need to see we need to see a bit more evidence. It'd be really nice if we were above the 10,000, but we're not, so we're under it, so we're in a weak spot here. But from this low here, if we call this wave 2 here, then we would look at this as wave 1 and 2 in here, and obviously wave 3 up here, just like we're looking at the S&P 500. We'll look at this in more detail, but I just want to draw a few things out first. So that wave 1 here, and then, because even if we get 5 waves up here, it doesn't really get us out of trouble, because we're in a bearish situation. We're in a bearish situation because we're under the closest largest number here. So what this can be is, this could also be an A wave and a B wave and a C wave to this point here, and then fail from that point and move down. So what we want to see here is that getting the 5 waves up is in line with our major count here, which is good news. And when we get these 5 up here, we want to get this A, B, and C wave in here. We want to see this correction here, because if we can confirm that this is a correction through here, then we've got more evidence on our side to suggest that we're going to be heading up from that point. It's highly likely we're going to be following the S&P up anyway, but it's nice to be able to confirm it in such a weak spot that we're in here. This 5 waves is helpful in terms of moving with the S&P 500. This move back down here in 3 waves, which will be a wave 2, will be swift and sharp, like this one here. There'll be a lot of pressure under it, and it can pull back. This one's pulled back more than 61.8%, but it hasn't taken the previous low out, so it can move into to 1 point of it. So that's fine. Anyway, 5 waves up, ABC. This ABC will be a really confirming factor, and it will also be one of the best entries as well. You can go long now if you wish, and then just keep the stop way down here out of harm's way, and it should be okay. And then we can look to build over here as well. So a very small position in here is not the end of the world, and we'll look at that as well. So moving into the 2-hour chart here, and just bear with me while I just get this organized. I'm just going to put this back on a smaller time frame. So yes, as I just had drawn out, then wave 1 and 2, up for wave 3, 4 and 5 here. So this will be it's on our way, but it doesn't get us out of the fact it still leaves a possible A, B and C wave here, and then failing from that point. I don't think it's the case, but it's my job to point it out where the risk sits and how we're going to handle that. And the way that we handle it is that we get a very good understanding from wave 1 back to wave 2 here, to see if that's in an A and a B and a C. So I don't know how far this is going to extend up here. I just take it to the old highs here as a bit of a rough sort of shot here. On the 15-minute chart, and drilling in here a little bit further here, we've got the low of this wave 2 here. and we're looking at it like this here. So wave 1, ABC for wave 2, up for 1, back for 2. I think this is 3, 4 and 5 to make one more little high here for wave 3 here. And then we still need to navigate through wave 4 here that can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So that's in be this one here, so it can pull back into here, and then wave 5 to the upside here, and then the A, the B and the C. So you can go long here, but you need to keep the stop out down here, out of the way, okay? Because if this market moves up to 9.8 here, and it could move higher actually, but I'm just conservative, so let's just take it to 9.8, and 8's a profit-taking number. It's a good place for it. So that leaves the 61.8% back here at 9.5 for wave 2. Now, we know from this previous wave it moved down further than that, so we'll see how we go. But the S&P 500 is in that third of a third of a third, and this market is getting in that sort of shape too. So it's got a lot of catching up to do. It will do that in due course once it starts. But yeah, so you need to sort of scratch your head a little bit and sort of ponder this a little bit too, because finding a way in is going to be a little bit sort of tricky for the longer haul. You either get in now and keep the stop well out of the way, or you basically wait to over to this point for this ABC pattern. The other problem here too is that if this market pushes up, the mistake that I could have made is that this could just extend, up into, we may get the ABC pattern back from this point here, and of course, and this just extending up here in some way, and then that would certainly make this entry that you place in here with a stop down here somewhere out of the way, it makes it look, better at that stage. So yeah, I'll leave it with you. It's a bit of a tricky one, but our focus will be on this area through here, even though we'll be detailing all this out through here. But this wave C of 2 here will be the long position once we got it confirmed. And even once we get there as well, by the by, we'll be looking for the first little tiny 5 waves up, and then the ABC back again, and then we can use that top there for the trigger to go through there, because getting 5 here will give us 5 over here. So at least we'll be able to manage the initial risk of the trade and get the ratios right. All right, that's it. So nice to see it moving up off the lows, and our main wave counts all still intact going through this very negative situation. Okay, cheers.